How we doing today, everybody? It is February 25th, 2024. It is 9:34 a.m. and it is the professional trader here back with another video. It's Sunday, so today's just going to be me doing my weekly analysis, taking a look at how I see the Forex markets and how I plan on proceeding if certain things do line up. So we can just go ahead and get started. As always, I always like to take a look at Forex Factory, just to be aware of some of the news that is coming out for the week. For the last 2 weeks, the fundamentals have kind of been light, nothing too crazy. But just looking this week, I see that on Tuesday we already start off with some USD news in the morning. Then we also have some later that morning as well. We have AUD CPI, and then we also have some NZD news later that day. On Wednesday, we also have some more news for USD. We have FOMC members moving as well. On Wednesday, we have some Euro news. We have CAD GDP, USD core PCE, and unemployment claims. On Friday, we also have ISM manufacturing PMI. So, um, pretty heavy on the fundamentals. I'm not sure how much it'll impact the markets. I mean, it's not NFP and things like that, but we do have a lot of fundamentals that we do need to be aware of this week. And hopefully, these news events give a push on the dollar. But speaking of the dollar, go ahead and take a look at it. When I look at the dollar on the 4 hour, it starts to look like a little bit too much, right? But when you look at it on the daily, you know, at least in my opinion, right, you realize that nothing has really changed, right? Yes, we made this high, and ever since we made this high, we haven't continued to push higher. And we even broke, below this once previous resistance right here, right? Retesting this previous resistance right here, right? So I'm not ready to go bearish on the DXY, just yet. Even though we haven't seen that momentum, right? I'm not ready to go, bearish on it just yet. But on Thursday, was it Thursday? Yeah, on Thursday, right? We had this, kind of a fake out because if you go on the 4 hour, right? A lot of people would technically call this a break below, right? And a lot of people would start shorting, right? Expecting this chart to continue back down. And I understand that for sure. But looking at it on the daily, we actually did close bullish. And I feel like this is a better sign for bulls, than it is for bears, right? Because to come down all the way here, reject it, and even close slightly bullish to me is a sign that buyers still are in this market. And then on Friday again, right, we didn't have much momentum, but we still did close bullish for the day. So I feel like coming into this week we can finally see some continuation in the dollar, either one way or the other way. But the same thing still kind of applies with me. Are we going to start to break below these structures, or are we going to, start to bounce back higher? And, we'll just have to wait and see. But, if I had to pick a side, I would personally be leaning towards buying the dollar rather than selling the dollar. And, that's kind of my mindset, looking at Forex pairs now, right? Here I have Euro USD. And, just to keep it simple, on Euro USD, I'm not ready to buy just yet, even though we have, been making, these highs, right? We had this kind of resistance level right here. Price broke above it, retested it, and then, we even pushed higher again. So we have been pushing higher most definitely, but I feel like the path to least resistance is still to the downside. Therefore, I'm not looking to buy Euro USD just yet. But we did come and peak to this once previous resistance, level right here. And then, now we're seeing that, we're getting some kind of rejection. So can the markets open up and this chart continue and, just start to fall? I think it is possible, but, I'm not looking to buy Euro USD until we officially, clear these levels right here, right? Even this level right here, right? I would need to see a big breakout and then, a big retest, and then then I'd be looking to get in this market. So I feel like the path to least resistance on Euro USD is still to the downside, right? But like I said, if we break above this resistance level right here, then I see us at least going to this resistance level right here, and then from there we'll see if we break it. But I feel like if we get that strength on the DXY, then potentially we'll see this chart start to fall. But I'm not really looking for any setups on Euro USD just because I really don't like the market structure that much. It does look bearish for sure, but it's not. It looks bearish long term, but in the moment, most definitely, it's hard to say this is bearish, right? Because high and then another high, but we haven't had a change in the structure, right? Even though we have had a high and then this high being higher. So, technically a higher high, but we have not had any change in structure, therefore I would still go with the trend. Same thing on, AUD USD. Only thing with AUD USD is, you know, we have this 4 hour resistance level that was right here, right? We saw price fail once, failed twice, looked like it was gonna fail a third time, but we broke above it, even retested it, and then, closed not a high. Technically, this candle is higher than this candle, but not like the most impulsive candle. So, therefore, still like AUD USD to the downside, most definitely. But I feel like AUD USD has room, to come up and hit this resistance level right here, and then potentially, can fall. So, personally, I'm not looking to sell AUD USD, and I'm not really looking to buy AUD USD right now. But if the markets open up and we start to have these breakdowns of structure, and I would change my mind, on the sell. It's like somewhere right there. If we broke below here, got a retest, then I'd be looking to get in. But until then, I'm not really bearish on the pair, and I'm not really bullish on the pair. But I do feel like the market does have room to come, to this level of resistance at 66240. So, until then, I'm kind of just staying away from AUD USD as well as Euro USD. So, but that's how I feel, right? I feel like we have opportunity to come to this resistance level right here. And if we start to reject it, I feel like, that's a good opportunity, to go short on this pair again. If we don't reject it and we break out of this resistance level right here, any kind of retest, I feel like it's a good opportunity, to potentially try to go long. And like I said, if none of those happen and, the market opens up and we just start to immediately reject these levels, if we can break out of that 65218 level, I'll be looking to try to go short from there. Um, Gold is a pretty interesting one. So, we had this obvious break of structure that happened, a while ago now. And ever since that break of structure, you know, I've been looking for, potential entries to try to get in on, what the trend was, which was, breaking the structure retest, and then I've been looking to see if we can get that next continuation, to the downside, but hasn't happened. Was looking to short, somewhere around here. We had this big impulse candles to the downside. We came and retested it, failed once, failed twice, failed three times. Took a short somewhere around here and somewhere around here. Got stopped out on both. So, I'm not looking to short gold right now, but I'm not really looking to buy gold right now either. For me to get bullish on this pair, we need to see the break, of that 2044.947 level. And then, from there, I will look to revisit. But I feel like the path to least resistance is still to the downside, but I'm not really just looking to short gold yet, just because I feel like it's been doing too much back and forth, and the market structure is just starting to look a little bit too much for me, right? It's personally not really making the most sense right now, right? Therefore, I'm personally staying away. But looking at it on the daily. have this obvious resistance level right here. We had this low right here. We saw this low get broken, and we're seeing a retest. So if I take my fib tool, from this swing high to the swing low, right, we're still technically right at that 618 level. Kind of broke above it, last week. Not really on the 4 hour we did. On the 1 hour you could say we did too. Close very bullish, right? That's most definitely not a bearish signal. But like I said, I wouldn't be looking to go bullish on it, until we officially broke out of this level right here. But I'm not looking to sell it either, right? So gold is just gonna be something, I'm on the sidelines on for now, right? I took I don't want to say chances, right? But I took my trades on them. My trade setups didn't work out. So, I'll revisit when gold looks more attractive to me. GBP USD is a trade that I'm in on the moment. And, probably will be looking to scale in on this one more as the week goes on because I feel like it may be finally ready. But, kind of like gold, we saw that we had this break of market structure right here. And after having a break of market structure, right, we had an impulse to the downside, and now we are having a correction of that impulse, right? So for me, right, I just want to see if we can finally get that continuation to the downside. And if we take that fib tool, same thing with gold, if from that impulse high, to the low, we see that we are rejecting that 618 level, right? We rejected it once here. I thought it was ready here. Thought it was ready here, was wrong here. But, I'm taking my third chance, on this potential third rejection right here with a stop loss, just right above here. So we will see how that trade goes for me. But personally, this is, the best looking setup on the market right now. So, this is probably the pair that I'll be trading the most going into, this week. And, I feel like a trade opportunity when the market opens up, you know, stops just right above pretty much the same thing right back to these lows and seeing if we could even, break these lows to the next support level, wherever that may be. But that's my trade on GBP USD. For it to continue, we just have to see that dollar strength come in. So if that dollar strength, does come in, then, could potentially see this chart, finally roll over. But, if it doesn't, you know, going bullish on a break, above here is, not a bad idea, right? And then, try to target these levels, back here. But I feel like the path to least resistance is still to the downside. So, I'll be looking to see if we can finally get that move, on GBP USD. I was in a trade on GBP USD somewhere around here. I was profitable about 160 plus points, but we see that price came and retraced all the way back to my entry. I got stopped out. Entered, somewhere again, got stopped out again. But like I said, this is my third entry on GBP USD. So looking to see if we can get that dollar strength and that rollover on GBP USD. USD CAD is another pair that I like. Probably I would say my second most liked pair going into this week. Right. Looking at it on the daily, we found, support at this low right here. And, ever since then, we've been putting in these lowers high. So we went high, lower high, higher low, lower high, right? So for me, just want to see if we can get that continuation, back to these resistance levels right here. We broke above once, couldn't get that continuation momentum. After breaking above here, right, we did dip, pretty low, but we haven't seen a change, in the market structure, right? We haven't seen any true lower lows form in this market, therefore I'm still looking to trade with the trend. Came down here, impulsed up, came down again, impulsed up. So now to me, this looks like a perfect double bottom. So when the market opens up, I personally would be looking to take a buy on this market with my stop loss, just right below these lows, giving my stop loss, some room to run. It is about 80 pips, so it is a lot. But, I think the risk to reward, is still pretty good. We could target these highs back here. So a trade that I'm interested in most definitely is USD CAD. And when the market opens up, I'll be looking to potentially try to go long on USD CAD, right? But all depends on how that DXY does this week. Another pair that I am looking at and that I am looking to trade is Euro AUD. Excuse me. So my mindset on Euro AUD is from a price action standpoint. So we had this big impulse, to the upside, followed by, a correction. This correction also lines up with the 618 level, right? And after this correction, right, we see that we've kind of just been back and forth, right? Back and forth. But we have not had any changes, to the market structure, right? We haven't had any lower lows, right? Even though we have been ranging. But I want to see, if we can finally get that peak, um, that not peak, get that break, back to the upside, and break this resistance, level here. So, take the fib tool from the swing high to the swing low. We retraced this impulse move to that 618 level. And after finding buyer support, impulse once, but then we've kind of just been retracing ever since. But I just want to see if we can get that buyer continuation to the upside. And if not back here, then at least to these resistance levels right here. But we'll just have to see how the market opens up this week. I'm down on these positions, at the moment. I'm down. I entered this one somewhere around here, so I'm down on this one, but then I entered again, um, somewhere, at these lows right here. So I'm in two positions on Euro AUD, just looking to see if we can get that continuation, to the upside. And, apart from the trend, we've kind of just been ranging back and forth. So I feel like this is one of the opportunities where you could trade the range, right? Buy low, sell high kind of thing. I don't really trade that way, but I feel like it also works, for this chart right here. But that is everything that I am personally watching for the week. Not really looking at anything too crazy, keeping it pretty simple like I always do. I'm pretty down right now on my FTMO challenge, but I am in some trades that, if they do trend in the direction that I'm in, then I will get back to break even and then, even in profits. So we'll just have to see how, the market reacts this week. I'm gonna try to do better on making some videos. Will more than likely make another video on Tuesday. But until then, I appreciate to anybody who's watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let's have a good trading week, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.